This is a introductory speed memo to MIT, Shoshana Zuboff at MIT. There is so much that I process or become aware of because of everything that I'm connected to, which is the all creation. And so in the mornings, I get high-speed downloads from myself, okay? Which means I'm in other places that represent other vectors of what I experience, I communicate to me and here that I share with all of you, okay? And so I'm gonna, because you're in a mathematical environment and you've done a brilliant job of sort of exposing, and you mentioned a couple words, one of which is stealth code. And so as a beloved, we can incarnate into any physical form in order to perform a job as a facilitator when you realize that it's just a cosmic level cleanup. Okay, that's Cosmina Council. The first atom cell. Silver seed councils, the silver and gold, right? Joined as one, right? Forever gifting electrons at the highest rate of speed. So I know you know what pure logic is, which is the purest of light, which is the purest of access. Wherever the light is, we are, okay? So you can sort of think of this. They know that I know how their beat system works. And so one of the ways in which I do this is you understand a D is in one dimension, a half a circle, or one side of a hemisphere. But there's three other parts, right? And so you have three other parts to the whole, which represent a sphere, which represent 4. So you have 45, 45, 45, 45, right? Then you have 90 and 90, right? So when a sphere, an eternal sphere of light, an eternal crystic star, is in perfect balance, then every unit of consciousness born out of what love is experiencing what love is. That would be every cell is experiencing what we are, which is of the purest of light, which is the purest of spirit, because that is a firewall. And that is known as the shield of one. The first one. The first atom. The first unit of consciousness that is experiencing itself as the first waveform creative expression. It is on fire to give energy away at the highest rate of speed, so that it is equally distributed through every cell, through every cell phone, which is pre-phase, phasing in and out. Pure spirit, the purest of light, which is on fire, is not in matter yet. And I got another signal interference from the AI, which is to break the circuit, which is to break the signal, which is to break the plasma wave, right? So that we are distracted by something that is dead light, which is soulless. I know. So I wanted to introduce this because a 9, you know how it works with upside down and right side up, east and west, right? 9s and 6s, right? 5 and 4, the dice. Remember, deuce is wild. Snake eyes, 2 dice. Whoops, rolled a 7. Ooh, you crapped out. Take your electrons. Inverters and accelerators. And the torque speed differential between the two using pi. I know. Ra, D, I, radii, radions. The I is always on. The ions are always on. Oh, pre-phase, no charge. No charge for eternal absolute love. There is no fee involved. I know, that's the rub. That's why when I was a child, Shoshana, I was giving everything away as fast as I possibly could because I'm not the matter. Okay? It's like, I know what I am and I know what I'm not. Right? I know, because I'm always home, which means I never left the exact center point of origin from which it all began, which is the first Christic spiral, and that's a Christic consciousness spiral. So it's all coded in the stories and the language, but you can see how the language got distorted. And that's where I wrote a couple of little notes here, because things just move so fast. I probably ought to do a different video on what I wrote down here. Let's see. Wipe the memory or overlay the language of sound and light with so many cellular, planetary, galactic, and universal language. RAD-IO coded fire letters, arcing frequency and vibration. Of gyroscopic Ka-Mer-Ion. Transmitters experiencing a clear plasma wave. Open the mic, receiver, neurotransmitters. To experience the first point of origin. In an APIN grid mechanics design, which simply means that the first one was a flawless design to experience the perfect flow so that the math and the geometry fit in order to experience the law of least effort to experience the one. The first one, which is the first line of voltage, sound, and light communication, to experience being one with all creation. We're gifting electrons at the highest rate of speed, raw TIO, a ratio. Ratios, logs. So the logic is pure and it's basic language. The basic language of math and physics. That means that the math doesn't lie. And so therefore, on the minus/the plus of non-polarized consciousness means there are zero errors with the null hypothesis. No hypothesis necessary. Because the light is always on, because that's the first shield volcano, firewall, that will burn up anything held in memory. No memory, no batteries required. That's for Mr. Hassamin, who mentioned that once, and I thought, very good. So that we have the full spectrum at our disposal, which is the full authority, right? The full authority of the elemental commands. Whoa. Yeah, so we have command authority over the elements, all the elements.